This video is going to show you some new features in PowerPoint. The first thing I want to talk about is the Tell Me what to do. And it's in all the Office programs now. And if you click up on the Tell Me, let's say I want to know how to put a background on. And so if I just start typing background, and then I click it, it's going to actually take me to where I need to go. So if I wanted to put a gradient fill on here, I could make the changes I want to it, and then I could say apply to all. So, and you can use that for a lot of different things. Now the next thing that is fairly new is real-time co-authoring. And if you click up here on Share, you can share your PowerPoint with anybody that has a link, and they can you can allow them to edit it or not. If you don't want them to edit it, you just click this off. You could send it to anybody, or you can only send it to people in our organization, that's St. Agnes. And then you could just send it to specific people. You can set an expiration date if you like, and then all you have to do is apply. Now this will need to be saved in your OneDrive account, and you can actually get in at the same time and work on a document. And when you do that, you'll see their names up here so that you can see who is working on a document. Another feature that's fairly new is called Smart Lookup. And so if I want to look up morph, I would right-click here and go to Smart Lookup. And a dialog box is going to appear on the right, and it's going to give me all sorts of information. It'll give me a definition. It'll give me some different words. If you had a country, it might give you a map. It just gives you all different types of things, and it's going to normally be taking it from Bing. Now at this point, if you've got pictures, you can actually drag those into your PowerPoint. Now the next thing new, it's probably been new for about a year, it's called Design Ideas. And you've probably seen it pop up when you put up a picture. It used to be it would just do design ideas for your pictures. Now it will do it on your text and all different kinds of things. This is what I used to make these slides. I'd had a list, just a simple list of all the new things. And then I went into Design and Design Ideas. And it was able to look at that list and told me other ways that I could format it. And if you'll see, it's still trying to give me more ideas, and I want to make sure I don't click it so my presentation doesn't change. But that's pretty cool. So you might want to give that a try. And if you have pictures and lists, it'll take all those things together and give you some really good design ideas. If it says they have no design ideas, that means you don't have enough in there for it to give you some help. Now there are some new charts. If you go into Insert and Charts, there's some new ones down here. There's Box and Whisker, there's a waterfall, there's a funnel, and there's a combo. And this tree map is also new. I'm not sure about this sunburst, but there's a number of new charts. And another thing that's kind of cool, now part of this is old and part of it's new. So let's say I want to put in some slides from another presentation I have. So I'm going to do reuse slides, and again, this is the old part. You could always do reuse slides, But now what you can do is actually search for slides. So let's say I want to search for some slides that have something to do with OneNote. So I'll click my search, and it's going to go through all my PowerPoints that are on my laptop, and it will even look down in my OneDrive account. And so once I find one, I'll click on it, and then it'll show me all the individual slides I have within that. And you can see now why it found this one. And then I can just pull those over if I want, and I can use that slide. And then when you pull them over, you can either have it look like this or go in like this red background that I have. It's up to you how you want to do that. So that can be very helpful. Then there's also screen recording. The screen recording is what it does is if you click this screen recording, it's going to go to your last open window, and you can start doing a screencasting, kind of like what I'm doing right now. And then when you're done with it, it will actually just go right into your PowerPoint. So you can talk, and you can do your mouse, and you could get your pen out and do markings. And then it all saves as a video right within your PowerPoint. So that's kind of nice. Then there's also a new translator, and that is in Review. And if you click here, also this is where your Smart Lookup is, your Translate, you can have it translate a selection of words. So if I select this, and then I can choose my language, and it's going to actually translate it, and I can insert that in here if I want. So that's pretty nice. Now the next thing that's somewhat new is you can save this whole thing as a video. So if you go to your recording and say export to video, before you do this, you probably want to make sure that you've put your timings on and everything's all ready to go. And then you need to decide how large you want that to be. It kind of depends on what you're going to do with it. And then all you have to do is create a video. It might take a little bit of time depending on how big this is. Now for the next part, before I do this, let's talk about the rulers. I don't know how many of you have seen the rulers. And it is in your draw. If you click on this ruler, you're just going to get a ruler that goes across the screen, and then you can use it to make straight lines or whatever you want to do with that. You can also do ink to text. So if you get out your pen and you make some inking, you can highlight it with your lasso, and you can just click ink to text, and it will hopefully recognize your handwriting and put that on the slide. You can also do ink to shape. Just turn this on so that if you start creating circles or squares or whatever, it's going to take them and make them perfect. You can also ink to math. I don't want to get into that too much. On the ink replay, what this will do is, let's say you have a slide and you've done some inking on it. Maybe you made a math problem or something. When you're done, you can click ink replay, and it's going to replay all the ink strokes that you made. So let's say you need to do a presentation in your algebra class. you could just open up that slide and click replay, and it'll go through all the steps that you actually took to do that problem. So those are some of the new things down here. Now let's skip over to autosave, and then I want to save this for last. Now your autosave, I don't know if you've noticed this, and you can't really see it on the screen I have, but there's an autosave at the top left-hand corner. If you turn it on, it's going to constantly be saving, and you will see it that it's saving because it will show you, if you see my cursor here, it's just above here, it'll show you if it's saving. So you can save that on. If you're going to be changing the names and different things, you probably don't want to have your autosave on. Okay, so let's do 3D animations next, and I need to go down here. Now, if you click Insert, and if you click 3D Models, and you click From Online Sources, there's all kinds of new 3D objects that you can put on. Some of them are just static, and some of them are actually animated. So if I go here to All Animated Models, all these will actually have animations in it. So if I click this little toaster, let me insert it in here. So if I put the toaster in here, close this thing. So if you see this, that toaster just flies around, and you can see the back of that toaster. I realize it doesn't belong with these fish, but you see these are complete 3D objects with animation. And if you look at scenes up here, this only has one scene. So some of them have several scenes. So if there was a scene and this flew up and then it spun around and flew back down, that would be a different scene, but this only has one scene. So those are your 3D objects. Let's get back into here, and you can also do regular ones. So if I'm looking for a table for some reason, I could search for all the tables, and it's going to find tables that other people have made in the program called Paint 3D, and it'll also have tables that Microsoft has created. Here's the animation of my 3D figures, and then I've put an animated shark here. You can animate your 3D characters. You can do little turntables. And then my last one, I'm going to have that shark go after the fish. Now, to do a morph, you start with a slide, and you can put as many things on it. You can put words, you can put figures, 3D, whatever you want. And then you duplicate your slide as many times as you want. And then on the duplicated part, you're going to actually move them around. So then the morph, what it'll do, so if I've got this is going to morph from here to here. And you do this all in transitions under morph. That's just a real quick breakdown of how to do that.